Welcome all to the City of Middletown Planning Board meeting of October the 4th, 2023. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to do a little housekeeping first for our transcriptionist. Ms. Hewson is absent this evening. All other board members are present. Also, here this evening is Building Inspector Welch, Fire Department Inspector Atkins, and Planning Board Attorney Mr. Krogan. All right, let me point out that if you're here for the first time this evening, your appearance is considered a preliminary hearing. And the Planning Board may or may not choose to act on those applications tonight. All right, first on our agenda would be approval of the August 2nd, 2023 minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes. Mr. Higbee, I need a second. Mr. McCormick. Discussion. Roll call. Mr. Madden.
Yes.
Mr. McCormick.
Yes.
Mr. Brito.
Yes.
Ms. Witt.
I abstain, I wasn't here.
Mr. Higbee.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you. First on the agenda this evening is Juan Cosme, 24 East Main Street, an eating and drinking establishment. And it doesn't say it on the agenda, but that's for beer and wine also. Mr. Cosme, are you here? Okay, first call.
Martina, did you hear from the applicant?
They have submitted the mailing, but today, no, I haven't heard.
Okay.
Second call it.
Yep, well, wait. Move on to the second item on the agenda this evening. Adriana Becara, 102 to 104 North Street, Suite a bakery, eatery, and drinking establishment. And we're 2 for 2. Okay, first call.
Martina, any,
You want,
Martina, before you do that, the third item, do we have mailings?
we do. We have anything in writing? Okay, thank you. All right, so moving on to the third item, and I apologize if I pronounce this incorrectly. Mohammed Ashahola? Okay, I didn't think I'd get it right. 132 Whitcomb Avenue, Deli Grocery. Please step up to the mic, sir. State your name for the record,
Mohammed Al Shuja.
and what do you plan on doing?
The same business was exiting before, except in the future after I open, I'm gonna add the hot food.
Add a what? I'm sorry?
The hot food.
Oh, hot food, okay. That's why you're becoming an eating and drinking establishment.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, for the record, our clerk has informed us that we do have the mailings and that we do not have anything in writing for this. So I'm going to open the public hearing. Anyone present wishing to address this application, please step forward. Ms. Hanson, do we have anyone online? Ms. Hanson? That could be a no. Flip your switch, where's that?
Me?
Can you hear me, Ms. Hanson?
Nothing this evening.
Thank you very much. I should yell louder through the door, right? 32. Okay. Okay, so we'll move on. No one from the public. Concerns from our board. Questions, comments, or concerns?
Theron, any comments?
No comments, he's good.
Well,
It was a deli before. Why does that have food?
You're just adding the hot food, becoming an eating and drinking establishment. Okay.
Theron, as far as the hot food, did he provide any plans for venting or anything?
Not yet.
Not yet, but I explained it to him.
I spoke to him, and he's aware of what the requirements are.
Okay. And just for the record, your hours of operation will be Monday through Sunday,
Yes,
6 a.m. to 11:30 p.m., is that correct?
yes.
Okay, good, that'll go in your resolution. Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
Do you plan on having any seating, or is this all to go?
No, no seating. to
Thank
go.
you.
All right, we'll go back to the public one more time. Anyone wishing to address this application, please step forward. I'm going to close the public hearing and go to the board one more time. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Yes, Ms. Witt.
What will your business name be?
M&A?
M&A?
Yes,
Deli?
yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. We're going to try to do a resolution. On the resolution for 132 Wickham Avenue, Deli Grocery, adding eating and drinking. Subject to the City of Middletown DPW, City of Middletown Fire Department inspections, approvals, and when necessary, approval of the Commissioner of Public Works. The applicant will obtain all necessary permits, follow the permitting process, codes, and ordinances of the City of Middletown. The County of Orange, which you've had eating and drinking, you may have to contact the Orange County Health Department, okay? And the State of New York if applicable. Also, subject to, your hours of operation will be Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Any items as stated in, submitted to planning board application, public hearing, board discussion, city inspector's input, planning board engineer, and planning board attorney's recommendations. Information submitted within this application will become part of the record, and the applicant will follow through and be held to. In addition, if throughout any of the process, the project is deemed to require bulk requirement tables, the applicant will supply said tables to an architect or engineer licensed in the state of New York. Whereas, pursuant to the City of Middletown Code, Chapter 475, Article 4, Administration and Enforcement, Section 475-53, Paragraph E, Subparagraph 6, unless work is commenced and diligently prosecuted within 6 months and completed within 2 years of the date of granting of a special use permit, such special use permit shall be null and void. In other words, if you can't get your business up and running in the 6-month period, you'll have to send us a letter telling us why and extending your approval for 6 months.
I get it.
Okay. That being said, I need a motion to accept.
Before we do that,
Yep.
was there any alcohol being served?
None. Not in the application, anyway.
Okay.
None.
Thank you.
No
Yeah.
seating and no alcohol.
Alcohol, yeah, I'm gonna be selling beer in there, but no serving.
Well, he has to apply for a liquor license. Now,
Yeah.
once he gets our approval for eating and drinking,
SLA.
he could go to the state of New York. That's the part that says state of New York if applicable. Okay? Board members okay with that? Okay. Motion. Mr. Brito, second. Ms. Witt, discussion? Roll call. Mr. Madden?
Yes.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Brito?
Yes.
Ms. Witt?
Yes.
Mr. Higbee?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Make sure you contact the DPW and the fire department going forward.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, I see we can make a second call. Second call for Juan Cosme, 24 East Main Street, an eating and drinking establishment, also with beer and wine. Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Please state your name for the record and what you're planning on doing.
I'm Juan Cosbe, and I'm planning to sell beer and wine in the 24 East Main Street that is established for serving food, and I want to serve beer and wine also.
Okay. Ms. Tu, do we have the mailings? Anything in writing? Thank you. I'm going to open the public hearing. Anyone present wishing to speak toward this application, please step forward. Ms. Hanson, do we have anybody online?
Not at this time.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to move to the board for any comments, questions, or concerns.
I think Rick does.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What are your hours going to be?
From 9 to 9.
And Monday through Sunday, or,
So right now, we're operating from 9 to 9. Sunday is closed right now. Maybe in the future, we're planning to open on Sunday too.
okay, well, while you're here, we'll take in the future, this way you won't have to come back. We'll say Monday through Sunday, 9 to 9, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
No, Monday to Saturday.
On Monday through Saturday?
Yeah, we operate from Monday to Saturday. From 9 in the morning to 9 in the afternoon, in the evening. So in the future, maybe we're planning to open it Sunday, if I get a license for the beer.
All right, so at this time, Sunday, you want to be closed?
See, at this time, it's closed.
That's fine.
You realize that in the future, you'll have to come back here if you plan on being open on Sunday. If we make it Monday to Sunday, but you don't open on Sunday, that's okay.
Okay,
But you wouldn't have to come back to us.
okay.
So would you like to proceed with Monday to Sunday?
I prefer to operate for the 7 days.
7 days?
7 days.
No, that's fine, sir. We just want
Yes.
to make sure that you understand.
It makes sense, yeah?
Okay, we'll go through Monday through Sunday, daily, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's fine.
Thereon, any comments?
I have no comments.
Walt?
Okay. Any other questions from the board members? I'll go back to the public. Anyone present wishing to step forward and comment on this application? I'm going to close the public hearing and move on to the board again if you had any extra thoughts. Okay. On the resolution for 24 East Main Street, an eating and drinking establishment, which will be going for a beer and wine only license. It'll be subject to the Middletown DPW and the City of Middletown Fire Department inspections, approvals, and when necessary, approval of Commissioner of Public Works. The applicant will obtain all necessary permits and follow the permitting process, codes, and ordinances of the City of Middletown, the County of Orange, and the State of New York if applicable. Also subject to hours of operation, which will be Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Any items as stated in or by submitted within the planning board application, public hearing, board discussion, city inspector's input, planning board engineer, and planning board attorney's recommendations. Information submitted within the application will become part of the record, and the applicant will follow through on and be held to. In addition, if throughout any of the review process, the project is deemed to require bulk requirement tables, the applicant will supply said tables through an architect or engineer licensed in the state of New York. Whereas pursuant to the city code, Middletown Code, Chapter 475, Article 4, Administration and Enforcement, Section 475-53, Paragraph E, Subparagraph 6, unless work is commenced and diligently prosecuted within 6 months and completed within a 2-year of the date of the granting of special use permit, such special use permit shall be null and void. If you do not get up and running in a 6-month period, please write us a letter telling us why, so that we can extend your approval, okay?
Okay,
Whereas this application is located in the DMU zone, therefore, applicants must submit and receive approval from the Department of Public Works according to Chapter 407 Solid Waste, Article 2 Collection, Section 407-3 Collection, and comply with this section and any other sections enacted by the Common Council from this date forward. Therefore, applicants must receive approval from the Architectural Review Board on all facade work, exterior work in general, and exterior signage. Any signage or anything you're going to do on the outside of your building, you have to contact and get approval from the Architectural Review Board. Okay? Also, therefore, the planning board will waive parking regulations. Also, this application refers to an eating and drinking establishment with beer and wine only. This application is up for approval. I need a motion. Mr. McCormick, second, Mr. Madden. Discussion? Roll call. Mr. Madden?
Yes.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Brito?
Yes.
Ms. Witt?
Yes.
Mr. Higbee?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you, sir. Get in touch with the DPW and the fire department.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda, second call for 102 to 104 North Street, Suite A bakery and eating and drinking establishment. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Please state your name for the record and what you plan on doing.
My name is Maria Sierra, and we just plan to move from 36 North Street to the 102 to 104 location.
Okay. Miss Two, do we have the mailing?
366, yeah.
We have the mailings, okay. You have anything in writing, Miss Two?
Nothing right.
Okay, I'm going to open the public hearing. Anyone present wishing to speak on this application, please step forward. All right, we'll move on to the board. Did you have
Do
any,
you want to ask Eileen if anyone's online?
Ms. Hanson, do we have anyone online?
There is no one online.
Thank you. Mr. Atkins, you had a question, or?
No, I was just saying they're at 366 right now.
Yeah.
Not 36, 366.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
366.
You're just moving closer to our center.
Any
center.
concerns?
Only from the guys at North Street Firehouse. They're losing this bakery.
Oh,
They're upset. They're not happy with you guys.
oh, you're lucky they're
So
not
you
here
know.
tonight, then. Okay.
Walt?
Okay. Anyone else? All right.
I think Ms. Witt has.
I'm sorry, Ms. Witt.
Will you be keeping the same name? You're going to
Yes,
keep the same business name?
everything's the same, yep.
Okay. And just state it for the record what your business name is.
It's Nana's Colombian Bakery.
Okay.
Hours of operation we have?
Well, I'm just going to double check with her. I have Mondays, it says 6 to 8. Is that 6 a.m. to 8 p.m.?
Yes.
And we have Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yes.
And Tuesday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yes, that's correct.
Those are correct, okay.
Yep.
I'll put those in the resolution as stated. Okay, back to the public hearing. Anyone present wishing to speak on this application, please step forward. None being forward. I'll close the public hearing. I will go to the board one more time with any thoughts, questions. Okay. On the resolution for 102 North Street, a bakery and eating and drinking establishment. Subject to the City of Middletown DPW and the City of Middletown Fire Department inspections, approvals, and when necessary, approval of the Commissioner of Public Works. The applicant will obtain all necessary permits and follow the permitting process, codes, and ordinances of the City of Middletown, the County of Orange, that would be the Health Department, and the State of New York, that would be your liquor license eventually, if applicable. Also subject to hours of operation, which are Mondays, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Oh, okay, subject to also any items as stated in the submitted planning board application, this public hearing, board discussion, city inspector's input, planning board engineers, planning board attorney's recommendations. Information submitted within the application will become part of the record, and the applicant will follow through on and be held to. In addition, if throughout any of the review process, the project is deemed to require bulk requirement tables, the applicant will supply said tables to an architect or engineer licensed in the state of New York. Whereas pursuant to the City of Middletown Code, Chapter 475, Article 4, Administration and Enforcement, Section 475-53, Paragraph E, Subparagraph 6, unless work is commenced and diligently prosecuted within 6 months, completed within 2 years of the date of the granting of special use permit, such special use permit shall be null and void. If you don't get up and running in 6 months, please send us a letter asking to extend your approval.
Will do.
Whereas this application is in the DMU, therefore applicants must submit and receive approval from the Department of Public Works according to Chapter 407 Solid Waste, Article 2 Collections, Section 407-3 Collection, and comply with this section and any other sections enacted by the Common Council from this date forward. Therefore, applicants must receive approval from the Architectural Review Board on all facade work, exterior work in general, and exterior signage. So any work you plan on doing on the face of your building, please contact the Architectural Review Board before you start.
Okay.
We also will, therefore, the planning board will waive parking regulations. And at this point in time, you're just going to be simply an eating and drinking establishment with no liquor.
No, no liquor.
With no
And they'll need county of health, the county health department. Okay.
That's the resolution. I need a motion. Ms. Witt, I need a second. Mr. Brito. Discussion?
Just one question, just for clarification, you're closed on Saturdays?
Oh, no, sorry. Saturday 6 to 9 as well.
I don't believe that was mentioned.
You are correct.
Okay.
9 a.m. to 12?
No, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, that's good. I will, in the hours of operation, please add, they will also be open on Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Good catch, Mr. Madden, thank you. That being said, roll call. Mr. Madden?
Yes.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Brito?
Yes.
Ms. Witt?
Yes.
Mr. Higbee?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. See DPW and see Fire Department.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up should be the Sound of Hope Radio Network. Good evening. Please state your name for the record.
Jonathan Lee, and this is Alan Zhang, who is the principal of Radio Network, and then this is the architect, Jerry.
Okay,
Jerry
thank you.
Jiang is the last name.
Great. So just give us a brief synopsis of what you're trying to do.
The Sound of Hope is not only on radios nowadays. They are actually doing more than radios. Radios, network, and the video. So the office building is, they are moving their headquarters from California to here. They have about 25 people in the building. They are expanding. They want to move their operation over here as a headquarters. Will be about 50 people around, hopefully by the end of the year if they can finish the construction. This building was occupied by ABCD on the first floor and second floor. The whole entire floor are part of the first floor. And the whole building now, the ABCD has moved part of their operations to another location. They have since vacated the second floor. So that's the second floor. They want to do remodeling. The other part of the first floor from ABCD will be moving out by the end of the year. So the whole building is about 50,800 according to the Orange County parcel image, and there is a huge basketball court in the middle of the building, and there are actually the office space on each floor is actually I think listed. The first floor is a little smaller, and the second floor and third floor is the same size. So they are going to they are bringing to the board today to get a building permit to do the second floor remodeling. They are pretty much going to maintain the structure of the building. They are dividing 2 bathrooms. It's the same. It used to be a girl and boys bathroom, but they are they are religious organizations. They are going to make a men's and women's, and men's and women's. It's the same size bath. They're going to be making, instead of 2, 4 bathrooms, and that's it. And the building lots on this is, there is one huge lot. It's actually 3 lots together, adjacent to each other. The first lot is 45 to 55 Academy. The back lot has, it's one on Little Avenue. It's a one-way street, and that's I think 10 Little. And on the Washington Street, there's I think 37 Washington. So they are going to use that as a parking. And from the calculations they have, there is a mistake in the first page, and they need about 68 parking space. It's by code, it's 300 per parking space. They have about 76 parking right now. So that's the basic application.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Tu, do we have the mailings? I'll open the public hearing then. Do we have anything in writing, Ms. Tu? Ms. Hanson, we have anybody on the telephone or on online?
Not at this time.
Thank you. All right. Anyone from the public wishing to step forward and comment on this application? All right, we'll go to the board. Questions, comments? Yes, Ms. Witt.
Hi. So you had mentioned that there is a tenant on the first floor and they're moving out in December. Is that the Little Lotus preschool, or is that a different business?
Little Lotus occupied half of the first floor and
Okay.
half of the third floor. They're going to maintain in there. They have no place to go to until probably much later. And then the ABCD was going to move out earlier, but they had construction issues on the same in the thing, and so in the new place, so they requested to move out end of the year.
Two different businesses, the ABCD and the.
Right, it's
Okay.
all preschool. One is a Spanish preschool, and then the other one is a more like a Asian, a mixed preschool. Right, right.
So the application that the board is looking at is only for remodeling on the second floor. That's the only thing you're here for tonight.
Correct. And we're coming back for first floor if anybody moves out.
And basement?
Basement, they're going to keep it the same so far. If there is a need to remodel basement is mostly, I think there is one big area, used to be a kitchen in there, more like a recreation.
But is anybody occupying the basement?
From they are, I don't,
We're using that, the basement, no, we're using that as storage. Yeah, and now it's vacant, yeah.
and the basketball court, they're going to use it themselves pretty much for employees. It's not open to public.
For recreational only?
For recreation, for like a gym for them.
And then the third floor, we're not touching?
Therefore, they are, I think I don't know, seems to be that there are some remodeling before, so I think they are not touching right now. But if there is a need to go over what's, they're going to hire the professional architect anyway for the third floor. They're not touching right now.
Okay. Theron? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Do you have any concerns?
Yeah, I have a lot of concerns. First of all, the third floor has been worked on and there's no building permits. There's been remodeling done by your people. And you're saying in the application that it's occupied by Sound of Hope
Right.
and Little Lotus? So we don't have,
No,
we don't have approvals
Okay.
for the current occupation on the third floor.
The Little Lotus is one half of the building, and they have been there for a while.
So the Little Lotus is fine, but the Sound of Hope radio station or studio that you have on the third floor,
Right.
you don't have approval for that.
Okay. So if that's the case, maybe it should put on the the application in terms of building permit. Let's do second floor
We
and
don't
third
have
floor.
building permits yet. So there was a stop work order issued,
Okay.
right?
I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was a stop work order issued because I went in there to do an inspection for the schools and all this work was going on. And then
Okay.
I went in again and there was still work going on. The basement's being used by somebody, somewhere, one of the schools. And there was somebody practicing music in the basement on the other side of the big room down there by themselves. So that's a concern to me.
Right.
Okay,
The basement is always being used by A, B, C, D, and Little Lotus. It's
That's
been
not correct.
No.
No. That
Who is
ba-
using
I've
that?
inspected that building numerous times, and that basement has not been occupied. The last time that basement was occupied was when Middletown Parks and Rec was there.
Basement is the basketball court, right?
The basement is the basement with the big giant room that you were talking about with the kitchen.
There's a kitchen,
and the
right?
Recreation area, right. So that's a concern to me.
Yeah. May I ask, what's your concern with the basement? What kind of usage do you observe?
Well, that's what the problem is. I don't know what's going on down there because there was part of the school was using it, looked like over summer, maybe some type of summer camp was using it. And then it seems like some of the rooms on the other side were being used as like a music practice rooms. So that's my concern.
Okay, so we don't have any music practicing, activity there. But for individual employee, some of them, they may, I don't even know this happened, okay? Some of them, they may do it individually.
All right.
And the basketball is used by Little Lotus mainly. They just do things there.
The basketball court's one thing. I'm
Right.
not talking about the basketball
Yeah.
court. I'm talking about the basement with the recreation room with the pool table and the kitchen and all of that
Right.
stuff.
Over there, it's empty, but we do eat lunch there. It's like lunchroom.
That needs to be put in all of this.
I thought you said you just use it for storage. That's what you just said a few minutes ago.
It was a teen center.
It's mainly for the lunch. We move the lunch into the basement. We come to pick it up or eat there. I don't quite, it's like a casual in and out type of thing. So I probably, if I need to be more accurate, yes. But we may not do it. Okay.
There's a lot, if I may, there's a lot of issues. So I've got a whole stack of plans here.
Okay.
But
I think
they've
what
changed.
right. So I'm let's do this.
Okay.
You want to make the basement a kitchen or what?
No.
But what do you want to do
Well,
dining
Jonathan, there's no site plan presented to the board for the basement.
Right.
So the only thing that's been presented is second floor.
Let's
So
do
the
this.
rest of the building, if you don't have permits, can't be used.
That's okay. For the lunch, we can eat it in the office. That's okay. It's not.
But let me ask, that basement wasn't done anything now. The basement is always been.
I understand what you're saying. but
Why is the first
but
floor
if you're
being able to
changing- If you're changing use or you're occupying and using a space, then first of all, you have to have approvals as needed
No,
by
there's
the code.
if there is no change from years ago, why do they need a permit? Just like first floor, Little Lotus, and ABCD, why do they need a permit? They have been using the basement all the
You gotta tell
time.
us what you're using it for, because you literally just said it was used for storage. And I'm telling you that it's not being used for storage,
But this,
somebody's in there using
it
it.
could be. Even outside is being used by ABCD.
Then you need to show this. All right, I need to know this.
But there is
And then
nothing
same thing with-
changed in the first floor. And then if you need
Talking
a,
about the first floor,
or the basement,
but there is.
there is a recreation center. There used to be a
Right.
pool table
It
in there.
hasn't been used in how long?
I don't know. I have been there a few times, right? And I think the ABCD has been using that. There's nothing preventing those people to
I
using
will
it.
tell you that was unoccupied space for at least the last 2 years that I've done inspections before this gentleman bought the building.
Okay,
When
I
that
don't
building,
know.
when that building was purchased from the city of Middletown,
Even now, ABCD has a right to use the basketball court outside
talking
and the
about the
basement.
basketball court.
Basement is open, always.
Well, we can go back and forth.
Right.
That's one issue. There's many. The problem is
I'm trying to figure
Building
out what
inspector.
needs to be presented here, right? If the
A
basement,
final set of plans and a final set of use for the building,
does it need on the first floor? Do they need a plan for the first floor?
if they're going to change the use, yes. Because if ABCD is leaving, then they need plans,
Okay.
okay?
So A, B, C, D, can they use the basement?
If they're using the gym, that's fine. They've always used the gym. But that basement has not, the basement
But
itself,
the problem I
outside of the
have
gym,
is
has
that,
not
the
been
problem I
occupied.
have is that the basement has always been open there.
Negative. It has
How do
not.
you know? I didn't even, I've been there a few times. How do you know? You've been there every time, every day, and you ask A, B, C, D. I know Little Lotus use that,
Okay,
All right,
okay,
right? They have been there for more than 2 years.
okay.
let's get back to the crux of the issue.
Yeah, what's the
this-
main thing what we should do now?
You've applied to this board for the use of the second floor. Okay?
Okay,
So tonight, if you want use of the second floor, as you have given us information on,
right,
that's what we're going to talk about,
correct.
all right?
But
Because
I don't like the idea of not being able to use the first floor and the basement, whatever you say. There's nothing changed in there.
and that is yet to be determined, okay?
Well, I think it's right to use whatever we have there, right? You cannot say, I cannot use it.
Couldn't use the first floor.
What's
The
changed
first floor
then?
is being used by Little Lotus, correct?
Right.
And ABCD.
Right, correct.
Okay, correct.
Why do they have to change the use? I mean,
Inside-
they occupy part of the building, why they
Mr.
cannot
Lee,
use
I
it?
didn't tell you that they had to change their use. I just said the basement
Right,
that you said was being used for storage is not being used for storage. It's being used by the school. Okay, and there's no prior approvals for that. That's what I'm telling you. Okay?
but do you think Little Lotus has to come back here to get an approval for it? Or is it ABC has to come back here and present it to you that the first floor and basement is being used, and they need to tell you what, do you need to do it again?
Yes.
Yes, you're a new owner. You're a new owner of the property.
Right.
We are making sure that whatever you're doing on each floor and the property and the site is within the code and within your right. You have a right. You bought the building, but now we're making sure everything belongs where it is. And I will state that from the very beginning on this application,
Right.
there has been nothing but confusion,
Right, okay,
all right? And you are even showing that there is still confusion.
right.
All right?
I know.
You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah.
All right? So, if you want to continue tonight with your application as stated, fine.
Okay.
If
Right.
you want to do more with the building, then
We'll come back again, right?
We'll adjourn, so you don't have to pay another fee. We'll adjourn what you have here so that you can come back and reapply with everything you want to do to the building. And be specific per floor so that we can, our inspectors can, everyone can make,
Can we just
reasonable
do
judgment.
the second floor first, and then in terms of all the others, we'll come back for it?
well, the only problem with that, Jonathan, if we do that, all right, then you'll have to reapply another fee to do the other floors.
That's okay.
Okay, then I just have to tell you that. I just wanna
Right,
make
that's
it clear.
okay, because they have to come back for, according to Mr. Atkins, on the basement maybe because there's a new owner, and they are using it, from what I can tell, lunch hours for like people doing music instruments, I don't know,
And that's
right?
fine, okay? And if you want to move forward on this application for the second floor, that's what we'll do,
Okay,
okay?
let's do that.
I'm okay with that. All right, so,
Chairman, do we also need to mention about the third floor, that the third floor doesn't currently have
No.
anything? Okay.
right now, we're talking about the second floor. When I say there's been confusion on this application, I mean it, all right? So I'm okay with approving the second floor first, and then let these gentlemen redraw and rethink about the other floors of the building so they can make a reasonable application and we can make a reasonable determination. Are you okay with that, sir?
Mr. Chairman, the only thing I would add is if the school is using, Lotus or ABCD is using part of the third floor, and that's been an existing use, then that should be continued.
But But we're not even talking about the third floor tonight, right? Whatever's there is going to continue.
Well, with the exception of the sound, the Hope sound. That,
Right, you cannot continue the Sound of Hope on the third floor until you get approval for that. That'll be your next.
That's a building permit, right? Or is it a,
site plan approval.
We worry about the site plan approval and what you're doing with the building. Once you get our approval, then it's DPW and permits.
so are you saying we have to apply for third floor as well?
Yes, that's what I just tried to explain to you. You'll
Then
have
we
to-
cannot go through tonight then? Or can we just do the second floor and then come back with the third floor and then,
You could include the third floor, the second, our first floor and basement on a future application.
right.
But tonight, it would be for the second floor only.
Right.
Okay.
And you will need to cease and desist. If any work is taking place on the third floor, you need to stop.
There's nothing going on right now.
Okay, well, I'm
Maybe
going to
there
leave
was
that up to
something
the
going on.
DPW and the fire department. If anything is going on other than the approvals that you've received already, you need to follow their direction.
Okay.
Is that fair enough, Mr. Atkins, for now?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, we're gonna have to have a meeting over there.
That's okay.
And walk the
Okay.
building. All right,
Yeah,
Mr.
all right.
Leo, I'll contact
I'll-
you tomorrow and,
Yeah, I'll try to be there. I want to make sure, I want to do the right thing. I mean,
Okay.
all right.
So, that all being said, we're going to move on to the second floor only.
Second floor only, that's what the application and what the applicant wants us to do.
As per the
Second
application.
floor approval only.
Right.
I would ask the same question, because we started talking about the basement and the first floor, but Mr. Atkins didn't address the second floor if he had any concerns. So my
Okay,
question
well-
would be, if we're just talking about the second floor, do you have any concerns about the second floor?
I don't have any concerns about the second floor. We're just talking about the offices, but the permits you have to get building permits,
Okay.
right? So,
Yes, Mr. Madden.
What is the square footage of the second floor?
It's on one of the sheets. The second floor square footage is, one side is occupied by 3,900. It's occupied by Sound of Hope, and the other, the second floor. On one side is 3,860. This is the sheet.
Okay.
I mean, there's additional space besides Sound of Hope, left side, Sound of Hope, right side. I mean, what's the total square footage of the second floor? It's not listed on that page. Total square footage, if it is? 7,700?
$7,700.
Thank you.
That's what they have on their.
Well, 3,900 and 3,800 would be 7,750.
Yeah, but like Mr. Madden pointed out, there's a lot of other space.
The middle is the basketball
But what
court all
about
the
the
way.
bathrooms? What about the corridor? What about the staff room? What about the,
We have actually looking at the code, building code, and basically it says about this is a occupancy of the office space, not the corridors, not the bathrooms. And that's the calculations. The spirit of the code is the calculations, not the whole thing. Because if you use the gross square footage, that thing is going to be huge, even the first floor, the basketball court.
Yeah, that center section's.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else from the board? I'm going to go back to the public hearing. Anyone present wishing to speak on this application, please step forward. I'm going to close the public hearing. And the board has any more questions or comments before I try to make a resolution out of this?
Jonathan, on the second floor, the rooms, are those meeting rooms? Are they offices?
Yeah, they are both. They are offices and meeting rooms. Most of them are offices.
And the meeting rooms, are they for outside people to come
Internal,
in?
all internal.
All internal use only?
Right, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I see on the plan that there's an existing laundry space. Is that being kept?
Laundry space? Okay, hang on. You mean which floor are you referring to?
On the On the second floor plan, on the
yeah.
right-hand side, it says existing laundry on the blue space.
Okay.
Existing laundry?
No, we don't have any laundry work there, but I'm just trying to see where is.
It's on the top,
On the top in the middle.
right,
Underneath where the 3868 square foot is, if you see.
by the stairs.
Yep, by the stairs, it says existing laundry.
Existing laundry, second floor.
Yeah, maybe ABCD was using it.
This, right, this is the current one. This is the current one that as is by ABCD. We are not building any laundry. We don't use that.
Okay, no, I'm just pointing it.
Yeah.
There's no residence in the whole building. It's only office space.
Okay. Good. All right. So I'm going to take this a little slow on this resolution. I'm going to try to put some items in here that, even though it's only the second floor, we still involved in the site plan, so I have to add some items. But this resolution is for Sound of Hope Radio Network, 45 to 51 Academy Avenue, second floor only, okay? At the conclusion of this, if you get your approval, we're probably going to want you to clean up your drawing of the second floor. Start with that. Existing laundry, if it doesn't exist, you're not going to do it, take it out. All right, let's have a fairly accurate plan of the second floor,
Okay.
all right? So you'll be subject to the City of Middletown DPW, the City of Middletown Fire Department inspections, approvals, and when necessary, approval of the Commissioner of Public Works. The applicant will obtain all necessary permits and follow the permitting process, codes, and ordinances of the City of Middletown, the County of Orange, and the State of New York if applicable. All right, your hours of operation, what I have in your application is 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and I assume that's daily? I don't know. Does that sound correct to you, sir?
Yeah, we would prefer daily, but we're using that the Monday through Saturday.
Okay, daily, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., is that correct?
Yes, true.
All right, hours of operation will be daily, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Any items as stated in your application, your planning board application, which describes your second floor work, okay? That's what's going to be included in your resolution, all right? So there'll be no confusion when the code enforcement people or the DPW or fire department shows up, okay? Anything that happened during our public hearing, our board discussion, city inspectors' input, building, planning board engineers, and planning board attorneys' recommendations. Information submitted within the application will become part of the record, and the applicant will follow through and be held to it. The one thing that I want to add here, especially for the site plan, you have 3 separate parcels on this
Right.
property.
Right.
Okay? We will require parking easements between each one of these parcels, because when you get this approval, it goes for the life of the property. We want them, we can't ask you legally to join them together, but we can ask you to join them together for parking requirements, okay?
You think
Parking
it's
needs.
easier to do
Cross
like a
easement.
joint?
All we
Maybe
need is a
joint, instead of like joint easement, maybe just make it one piece.
That would be great if you could do
Yeah,
that.
we'll
be
we'll
great.
have a title company to do that.
You can do that. and-
Lot line change.
Yep.
Lot line change and change it so that we will have one.
that
Otherwise,
would
you have
be
to write a big
the best.
documents.
Right now, your application stands as the lots, the 3 lots.
Right.
So that will run with the land.
Right,
But it would clean it up if it was all one.
right.
All right, that's part of it. If the applicant will combine all lots into one parcel.
Right.
If not, you will need parking easements
Right.
between each parcel, because
Yeah.
it will go for the life of the property,
Okay.
okay?
With each parcel to run to the main parcel, Lot 7. So
Okay.
Lot 7 has the benefit of those other 2
Right,
lots.
right, right.
Okay. Do you want to add anything else? I'm trying to cover the site plan. And at this point in time, the applicant has chosen for the second floor approval only, and will return when they're ready for the basement, first floor, and third floor.
Right.
No other work to be done in the building.
Except the second floor, after
Right,
you
that's
approve
right.
it, and then after the building permit.
Correct.
Right.
All right. In addition, if throughout any of the review process, the project is deemed to require bulk requirement tables, the applicant will supply said tables through an architect or engineer licensed in the state of New York. Whereas pursuant to the City Middletown Code, Chapter 475, Article 4, Administration and Enforcement, Section 475-53, Paragraph E, subsection 6, unless work is commenced and diligently prosecuted within 6 months and completed within 2 years of the date of granting of the special use permit, such special use permit shall be null and void. I think you know the meaning of that.
Right.
If you don't start your work within 6 months, we'll need a letter asking for us to approve a 6-month extension, okay? That being said, I believe unless the board has any other things they'd like me to add, I need a motion. Ms. Witt, I need a second. Mr. McCormick, discussion? Roll call. Mr. Madden?
Yes.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Brito?
Yes.
Ms. Witt?
Yes.
Mr. Higbee?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Motion to adjourn. Mr. Brito, Ms. Witt, all in favor? Aye.